व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अननातिमिरन्दस्य जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सर्वं जङ्गमं ज्ञातं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तद्जीव्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सर्वश्रुतिशिरोरत्नं विराजितपदम्बुजां वेदान्तं भुजसूर्योय तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चैतन्यशाश्वतः शान्तो व्योमातीतो निरञ्जनः बिन्दुनादकलातीतं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ज्ञानशक्तिसमारूढं तत्त्वमालाविभूषितं बुद्धिमुक्तिप्रदाता च तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्म सम्प्राप्तं कर्मबन्धविनाये आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सुशनं भवसिन्धोषं ज्ञापनं सारसम्पदां गुरुपादोदकं सम्यक् तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। न गुरुरादिकं तत्त्वं न गुरुरादिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मनता श्रीजगन्नाथ मद्गुरु श्रीजगद्गुरु ममात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुरादिरनादीश गुरुपरमदेवतं गुरुपरतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। जय जय गुरुराज महाराज तारो भवसागर से पार। जय जय गुरुराज महाराज तारो भवसागर से पार। जय जय गुरुराज महाराज तारो भवसागर से पार। जय जय गुरुराज महाराज उतारो 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 sagar se par.
Jai Jai Narayana Bhagavan Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Jai Narayana Bhagavan Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Jai Narayana Bhagavan Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Jai Narayan Bhagavan Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Jai Narayana Bhagavan Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Jai Narayan Bhagavan Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Jai Narayana Bhagavan Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Jai Ramachandra 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 Bhagavan Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Jai Ramanuja 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 Bhagavan Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Shri Vishwananda Maharaj Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Jai Vishwananda Maharaj Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Shri Vishwananda Maharaj Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Jai Vishwananda Maharaj Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Shri Vishwananda Maharaj Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Shri Vishwananda Bhagavan Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Shri Vishwananda Maharaj Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Shri Vishwananda Bhagavan Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Shri Vishwananda Maharaj Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Shri Vishwananda Bhagavan Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Shri Vishwananda Maharaj Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Shri Vishwananda Bhagavan 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 Utaro Bhavasagar se par.
Jai Shri Narasimha 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 Bhagavan उतारो भव सागर से
जय श्री विश्वानंद भगवान उतारो भव सागर से पार जय श्री विश्वानंद भगवान उतारो भव सागर से Om Avatar Shishaya Namaha Om Vishamaya Namaha Om Devakarya Samudrataya Namaha Om Sukshmatannave Namaha Om Chimayaya Namaha Om Guru Murtaye Namaha Om Sundaraya Namaha Om Sholochanaya Namaha Om Sumukaya Namaha Om Charvasaya Namaha Om Keshavaya Namaha Om Padmabhujaya Namaha Om Mandagamanaya Namaha Om Charumardani Namaha Om Ramaya Namaha Om Mandir Sapakaya Namaha Om Shri Bhutabhrteshwarnath Namaha Om Gayatri Ajwane Namaha Om Arpana Swikarakaya Namaha Om Vishnu Pujakaya Namaha Om Namo Narayana Iti Mantropasakaya Namaha Om Swaramayaya Namaha Om Madhurakantaya Namaha Om Krishna Samkirtanalulupaya Namaha Om Stotra Priyaya Namaha Om Itavashine Namaha Om Agmine Namaha Om Chitakala Visharadaya Namaha Om Vratadaraya Namaha Om Sadave Namaha Om Jagatpantaya Namaha Om Sarvalokahitaya Namaha Om Bhakta Priyaya Namaha Om Surdaya Namaha Om Anukulaya Namaha Om Neyaya Namaha Om Sudarshanaya Namaha Om Bhaktavatsalaya Namaha Om Prema Murtaye Namaha Om Shubhekshanaya Namaha Om Pritivardhanaya Namaha Om Swastidayakaya Namaha Om Tarakaya Namaha Om Anugrahaya Namaha Om Vardhanaya Namaha Om Architaya Namaha Om Arthaya Namaha Om Siddhipradaya Namaha Om Janardhanaya Namaha Om Manoharaya Namaha Om Akshaya Namaha Om Siddheshwaraya Namaha Om Bhasmabhushitaya Namaha Om Atmalingaya Namaha Om Lingachana Prasakaya Namaha Om Siddhi Sadanaya Namaha Om Madhavaya Namaha Om Omkarapasakaya Namaha Om Sukshmaya Namaha Om Vishwakaya Namaha Om Satvikaya Namaha Om Samadarshine Namaha Om Dakshaya Namaha Om Achintyaya Namaha Om Nirankaraya Namaha Om Nirmohaya Namaha Om Avyagraya Namaha Om Jitakrodaya Namaha Om Vinayashilaya Namaha Om Savashaya Namaha Om Kushalaya Namaha Om Shammaya Namaha Om Satyadharmaya Namaha Om Nirvikalpaya Namaha Om Viraktaya Namaha Om Atindraya Namaha Om Satyasandaya Namaha Om Pavitraya Namaha Om Madhura Svabhavaya Namaha Om Suranandaya Namaha Om Nandanaya Namaha Om Prasanatmane Namaha Om Bhaktanidaye Namaha Om Sakshaye Namaha Om Samatmaye Namaha Om Sadayogine Namaha Om Araye Namaha Om Sutapaya Namaha Om Somyaya Namaha Om Guyaya Namaha Om Vimutatmaya Namaha Om Gabiraya Namaha Om Guptaya Namaha Om Atmaramaya Namaha Om Srinivasaya Namaha Om Devaya Namaha Om Dyutidaraya Namaha Om Danyaya Namaha Om Gurave Namaha Om Turatikramaya Namaha Om Ganaya Namaha Om Bhagavate Namaha Om Harisharanamargadakshakaya Namaha Om Kutashajagartakaya Namaha Om Abhiprayaya Namaha Om Sarvamata Samatyaya Namaha Om Shemikata Bhavavardakaya Namaha Om Premavatara Sri Vishwananda Swami Ato Deva Avantano Yato Vishnur Vichakrame Prarivya Saptadamapi Idam Vishnur Vichakrame Tredanyale Padam Samodamasya Pagum Sure त्रीणि पदा विचक्रमे विष्णुर्गोपादाभ्यः अतो धर्माणि धारयन् विष्णुकर्माणि पश्यत यतो वृतानि पश्पसे इन्द्रस्य युजसखा तद्विष्णो परमं पदगुं सदा पश्यन्ति सूर्यः दिवि चक्षुरततं तद्विप्रसो विपन्यवो जगृभगुं ससमिन्दति विष्णुर्यत् परमं पदम्। प्रेमवतराय धीमहि सद्गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विश्वानन्द प्रचोदयात्। ॐ प्रेमवतराय विद्महे सद्गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विश्वानन्द प्रचोदयात्। प्रेमवतराय विद्महे सद्गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विश्वानन्द प्रचोदयात्। Govinda. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodayat.
Shri Krishna Vishnu Madhusudana Ketapare Narayana Achyuta Trivikrama Chakrapane Deities Sajadara Sridhara Vasudeva Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Rukmini Shabhavana Sahare Murare Radhesha Gopesa Swarupa Brahmadi Vandya Shri Dharakaishaya Vaikunta Pate Bhuvate Kamurte Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Ninakrate Kamadarupa Varara Murte Shri Vikramaya Gurune Guru Rama Rama Shri Rama Krishna Yadunandana Kalki Rupa Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Govinda Madhava Mukunda Parat Paresha Damodaranjana Nandana Darishoni Gopa Gopi Jana Samrita Dina Bandho Gopi Jana Priya Hare Tava Suprabhatam Shri Vanshishani Pujakadi Dapaya Shayin Sadvaktarit Samadashayin Ramanga Shayin Shri Gopa Bhama Mudatalpya Sukadishayin Gopavallabha Hare Tava Supravatam Shri Kashyapakti Sukhanarada Gotamari Brahmarshi Sangamani Sangava Bharatesho Tishanti Deva Tava Darshana Bhagya Heto Gopala Shekhra Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Mandara Jali Tulasi Dhanamalikanyahe Mayani Anjali Pute Samudararanti Tishtanti Tatmavatarara Tale Muninyaha Radha Manohara Hare Tava Supravatam Verantrayam Patati Gautanakaya Kuyaha Gayanti Satguna Gano Varadasa Vargaha Sankirtayanti Tavanama Kamali Sheshaha Shri Nararani Rasaya Tava Supravatam Govardhanodharana Gopa Kishora Gopa Gopi Janamrita Subesha Maripota Trilokya Mohana Sumangala Divya Deva Shri Rukmini Shavarada Tava Supravatam Shri Vatsya Chinya Saranada Katari Jata Bhattarti Vanjana Katanti Adina Bandho Daitanta Gayati Jana Priya Divya Rupa Shri Nanda Gopatanaya Tava Supravatam Padmaksha Padma Mukha Padma Dara Prameya Padmastayastrayita Padma Nivasa Shori Padmo Bhavati Surasevada Pada Padma Padma Dinata Haraye Tava Supravatam Vedantale Vinananaya Murindra Vandya Kandarpa Darpa Haratinya Sureshwarupa Chandrananaya Sira Chandana Lipya Deha Govinda Yadava Hare Tava Supravatam Shri Nanda Nandana Yashoda Kumara Dhira Mayanga Dina Davichona Supushpahara Nilam Buddhana Susarira Rama Vihara Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Supravatam Shri Vatsi Janbhavati Satya Suganti Padra Shri Mitra Vindya Divasha Prabhu Putra Kanyahe Trishanti Divya Bhava Vittava Sevanaram Gopi Mana Priya Hare Tava Supravatam Shri Krishna Achyuta Ananda Mukunda Shori Radha Manohara Janardana Chakrapane Namani Divya Munayurna Nisambaranti Brahmi Muhurta Samaye Tava Supravatam Shri Krishna Supravatam Ye Pahanti Aharisham Bhuri Krita Mahapapa Shri Krishna Grahetukam
Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana Govinda Madi Purusham Tamam Bhajami Govinda Madi Purusham Tamam Bhajami Sintamani Prakara Samashukam Praviksha Yasha Viteshu Suravira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambrahma Sevyamanam Govinda Madi Purusham Tamam Bhajami Govinda Madi Purusham Tamam Bhajami Venum Kramantam Aravinda Dalaya Taksham Bhagavatam Samas
Vilassitam Buddha Sundarangam Gandharvakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Anula Chandra Kala Sadvana Malyavansi Ratnam Gadam Pranaya Keli Kala Vilasam Shyamam Tribangala-litam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami
Anganiyasya Sakalendriya Vittimanti Vaishyanti Panti Kalayanti Jiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadushvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitamachyutamanandimanantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabhamadurlabhamatma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo Vayoratati Manaso Muni Pungavana Shobhyasti Alpafala Simya Vichintya Tadve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Ekopya Surachayatum Jaganta Kotim Yashastirasti Jaganta Chayayantaha Andatarasa Paramana Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Yatbhava Bhavitadiyo Manujastateva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasanayana Pushaham Suktiryameva Nigama Pratite Suvanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabhis Tavirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabi Goloka Eva Nivasata Kilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Premanjanam Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Idayeshu Vilokayanti Yakshama Sundaram Achintya Gunasarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramardi Murdi Sukalani Amena Tishtam Nanavataram Akarot Bhuvanesha Kinto Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramam Pumayom Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti Kotishvashesha Vasudadi Vibhuti Vina Yat Brahma Nishkalamanantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Yasya Jaganta Satani Sute Trigonya Tatvishaya Veda Vitaya Manam Sattva Valambi Parasattva Vishoda Sattvam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Ananta Chinmaya Rasatmataya Manasu Yatpaninam Patipalam Smaratamupedya Lilayitena Bhuvanani Jayatya Jastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Golokanam Nijadam Nitalesha Tasyam Devi Maheshwaridama Suteshu Teshu Tete Prabhavani Chaya Vihita Shayana Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami
Shristi Shri Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga Ichanurupana Piyasya Chatesha Tesha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shiram Yatada Divikara Vishesha Yoga Sanjayate Nahi Tata Pratyasti Eto Yasambhutam Apitata Samupeti Karyat Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Dipachireva Hida Sattaramaphupetya Dipayate Vivata Hetu Samana Dharma Yasatriveva Hija Vishnu Taya Pibati Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Yakaranana Jale Bhati Smayoga Nidramananta Jaganta Saroma Kupa Adar Satim Avalamya Parasamurtim Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Yasyeka Nishvasita Kala Matavalambya Jivanti Loma Vinaja Jagatandanatraha Vishnur Mahansa Isha Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Bhashvam Yatasma Sakalesu Nisesutesha Sriyam Kiya Prakataya Tapitatvatra Brahmaya Esu Jaganta Vidana Karta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Yatpada Pallava Yugam Vinidaya Kumbha
Gandhe Pranama Samaye Saganadi Raja Vignam Viyantu Malayasya Jagatrayasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Anirmahi Ganganambu Marodi Sasha Kalastatatma Manasiti Jagatrani Yashmat Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Amcha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Yashakshuresa Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Suramurti Rashesha Tejaha Yasyagala Pramati Sambrita Kala Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Dharmota Papa Nichayasta Tayasta Pansi Brahmadikita Pataga Vadayasta Jiva Yadata Matra Vibhava Prakata Prabhava Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasvindra Gopa Matavendra Mahosma Karma Bandhanya Rupa Palabhajana Matanoti Karma Nilirdhati Kintu Shabati Bhajam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yam Krodha Kama Sahaja Pranayadi Biti Vatsalya Moha Guru Gaurava Sevya Bhavahe Sanchitya Tasya Sadrisim Tanura Purete Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasme Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Gurudev. And today we have Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, Verse 11. Kastripnuyat tirtha pado bindanat satreshu ya shuribir idyamanat ya karnanadim purushasya yato bhava pradam ge aratim chinnati. The translation is, who in human society can be satisfied without hearing sufficient talk of the Lord, whose lotus feet are the sum total of all places of pilgrimage, and who is worshipped by great sages and devotees? Such topics can cut off one's bondage to family affection simply by entering the holes of one's ears. So here we have a conversation between Sage Maitreya and Vidura. Vidura is inquiring Sage Maitreya with many questions. And Sage Maitreya says, look, if you want to cut off the bondages to family, to let's say, to material life, you have to engage yourself in listening to the stories, to the glories of the Lord. And this has to be a constant effort, not just like one time, but every day. It's like we do every day, reading the Gita, listening to Guruji's satsangs, and doing our sadhana. And this helps us to move on in our life. And Guruji gave us this image that the human body, our feet, they point towards forwards, not towards backwards. Why? Because we are supposed to advance. We are supposed to progress, to move on in life. And if I stay in that flow of life, then I'm supported. I feel supported from all sides. I am protected, and God's grace flows to me, and so I can even progress even more and more. And basically nothing can go wrong there. And some years ago, there was a Mataji who was coming to the ashram, and since a certain time she was unemployed, so she didn't have a job. And she said, it's so difficult to find a job in my age. I am already over 50, and this and that, and my boss is mobbing me and is harassing me and complaining all the time. And I was listening, and I couldn't say one word. She was talking all the time, complaining and complaining. Oh, how hard is it? And oh man, it's so miserable life, and it's so difficult. Well, I met her 3 months later, and I asked, how are you? She said, oh, I'm again in the same hole, and nothing moves. And I asked, did you get that job? Because she was applying for one job where she saw herself some perspective in that job to get it. But then 3 months later, when I met her again, she said, no, it was not for me. No. Some months later, the story repeats. How are you? Oh, no, life is so difficult, man. and so on and so on and so on. And this reminded me a story, an experience actually, that I had when I finished studying at university. So I started to look for a job. So you send the first application, second application. After maybe 1 week, you receive the first responses. Rejection. So I was sending 250 applications, and all of them have been rejected. So then, since I was living still at my parents' house, my father said, you know, you should go to the unemployment office and get some money from the, you know, like unemployed people. You have to, in the social state today, they give you money, you know. So I went and applied, and so I get some money there. But the feeling in that time, so it was 4 months, sorry, I was unemployed, and the feeling was really, really of being worthless, of being unworthy, of being inferior, of being, how do you say, useless. In other words, useless, yes. And of being a failure, you know, and then, of course, in that state, self-doubt arises. So although I was fresh from university, I had no knowledge, I was qualified. So professionally, educationally, I was ready to get a job. But in that stage, all these doubts start to come. Am I really so good? Am I really so ready to embark into that profession, let's say? And it was a feeling of being in a prison, actually. And it was a feeling of weakness because of not being able to sustain myself financially. So I have to depend on something, on the government or on the state, that they support me, on society, that they support me, that they nourish me. And this was really an uncomfortable feeling. Even a feeling of guiltiness because of that, because I am dependent of, or although I have 2 hands and 2 feet and 2 legs, which can, let's say, produce something useful, still, because in this situation of being unemployed, there was this feeling of guiltiness. I feel guilty that I cannot contribute to society in some way. And today, I would say, I felt depressed in that state because I was simply not doing my dharma. So like Arjuna in chapter 1, basically. And what helped me back then to transform these unpleasant feelings and situation was to start doing something, no matter what. So in the village where we lived in the mountains, there was a farmer, and he had a lot, like every farmer, they have a lot to do from morning soon to evening late. So I went to him and said, "Can I help you?" And he said, yes, come. So we went to cut the hay and to harvest the hay. And this helped to transform these negative feelings which were there. So I was doing something which was not related to my profession, was not helping me to get a job in any way, but the simple fact of doing something, this helped to release this pressure, this guiltiness, this feeling of being unworthy. So this gave me some value, you know. And so what happened? Some days later, after I started with to help this farmer, I received a proposal. So it was after 4 months that I was unemployed. I received a job proposal, but it was limited to 3 months. So it was a contract of 3 months, and they say to me, you know, after 3 months it's finished and you have to find something else. And then the money, it was half of the salary, like I would get in the industry somewhere else. But I said, you know, in that moment I take it. I take whatever is given, I take it, because this is a hopeless situation here. I have to start somewhere to get out of that hole. And so I took it, and guess what? After 2 weeks, starting in that job, which was limited to 3 months, I get a proposal from a government department to work there for double salary, so double amount of money. So then I went back to my boss and I said, look, I have this proposal, so I will, after finishing the 3 months, I will move there to that place. And I said, wait, I have a proposal for you. So he made me a counter proposal for the same amount of money and for an unlimited contract. So I stayed there for 2 years, and it was a really nice experience. And yeah. So what happens when we stop? When we stop, you know, like this Mataji that I was telling you before, that basically what did she do? She said, Kailash, like in basketball play, the trainers, after a certain time, they can call a so-called time off, time out. It's like this, like a T, you know, like this, okay? Which means he calls the players from his team and then he instructs them, he gives them new instructions how to win the game. And what this Mataji was saying to me is, you know, I need a timeout in life. And well, what happened? The observation, just without judging, but the observation is, well, it didn't went well. So, meaning, sometimes we have the feeling and maybe the need to take a time out, but this is not my experience. So, my experience is, don't stop, keep moving forward. Do whatever is needed, but do something. Don't stop. This is what I learned, you know, from these experiences. Because when you stop, then there are many things which happened. And the mind kicks in, then we start judging ourselves first. We start comparing ourselves with others. We start maybe judging ourselves as not being able to do things. Self-doubt start to arise. Am I really able to keep up that position? Am I really able to fulfill that job? You know, all these doubts start eating me from inside, you know, and this is the beginning of a downfall, actually. So, in other words, the mind fills this empty space with negative thoughts, and then we go into weakness. Instead of being or stay in the strength, no, we go in the weakness, in self-pity, and or we escape into fantasy. This happened to me many times, where I started to become completely ungrounded, do ungrounded things, and this didn't end well. And the only solution is, like he says in the verse, is always to keep our mind occupied with good stuff. And good stuff, we know what it is. It is listening to Guruji satsangs, reading the Gita, doing our sadhana, going to temple prayers, and this flow, like Guruji calls it, the flow of life. This flow of life we should never stop, because otherwise, like I said, then the mind kicks in, and then sabotages. How do you say sabotage? Yeah, sabotages ourselves, our life. And if we keep walking, then if it's meant from God's perspective that we have to take another way or another direction, then He will clearly show this to us. So maybe 15 years ago, we were in the mountains, and there was a man there. He became a devotee, by the way, some years ago. And this man, we were at about 3,000 meter high. It's very high mountains. We are a really huge view on the Swiss Alps. It was fantastic view. And he said to me, you see, I advise you to take a guru. Because a guru is like a mountain guide. And if you have been in the mountains, you know, especially high top mountains, you know that you need a guide to get there. Alone, you don't know the way. It's way too difficult. And sometimes you even need somebody like a mountain guide who pulls you up with a rope when you get stuck. So when you are climbing, there was this famous Italian climber, and he said, once I got stuck, and he was one of the best ones. He climbed all the Himalayas. Reinhold Messner is his name, and he said, once happened to me that I got stuck for half an hour on a rock wall, and I was paralyzed. So I couldn't go up, I couldn't go down, I was just stuck there. And this is one of the most uncomfortable situation where you don't know in life where to go. This ignorance about what to do. This is very uncomfortable. And this is what he expressed in that situation. So, and this picture, of being on a mountain rock, on a rock wall, and you cannot move anymore. This is a terrible, it's a terrifying experience. And he says, the guru is the mountain guide who pulls you up every time you get stuck on that wall. So, this guy, who now is a devotee, back then he said to me, I advise you to take a guru, because otherwise you will not move forward in your life. Literally, he said like this. And I said, it makes sense. What you are saying to me, it makes absolutely sense. But the next day, I had a date with a Mataji, and the love story began. So I forgot completely about the good, the good intentions which I had one day before. Until, then things move on. So this relationship starts. And then towards the end of this relationship, which was 6 months later, I meet another Mataji, and this Mataji says me the exact same words like the guy 6 months before. She says, I advise you to take a spiritual master. And then in that moment is what happens here from time to time. There is the fire siren going on, like the other day happened. Ooh. This was for me the alarm bell, knowing, understanding that, within 6 months, I received the exact same message, word by word, exact the same message. Kailash, move on, take a guru, otherwise you will not move in this life. Move on. And then, yeah, I said, okay, I woke up, I said, yeah, okay, I understood, I understood. And then I start praying, and imagine, I knew already Guruji 3 years before I met him first time. But somehow I didn't feel no need, you know. And then when they said to me 2 times, take a guru, I was not thinking of Guruji, not at all. It was not even a thought of Guru, not even that. And then I prayed, so please God, show me who this guru is, because I have no clue. So then, some months later, somebody invited me to chanting. And then I went there, and then it was such a nice experience, I felt so much love, so much energy, really a huge power I felt. I say, wow, chanting is nice. And then, then this is another story. And about moving on, I remember my grandmother, when she was in her 90s, she said always to us, we were 20 back then, she said, you know, every morning and every day, I stand up and I do a walk. And the walk is about 3 kilometers in the mountains. So she goes down the valley, and then she goes up, and then she goes down again, she come back home. So about 1 hour. And she said, you know what? If I don't do it every day, then I know that I will never be able to stand up from that chair. So she knew that this sadhana was keeping her alive. She said, if I stop doing this practice every day, I'm done. This was the wisdom she had. And this was always, this image was always accompanying me in my life. Say, don't stop, man, don't stop. Do something, but don't stop. And so it's like when you are you're driving, you come in a roundabout, the traffic circles, you know, the round traffic circles. And you come in, and then you are confused. Okay, which exit should I take? This one, the next one. So you stop, you know, at a certain point. So you have to make up something, you know. But you are confused, and then you have fear eventually that you take the wrong exit. So what happens? The cars that are behind you, they start, honking. Poo, 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 like in Vrindavan. And as soon as your car is moving again, then what happens? The honking behind stops. Meaning, the energy flows again. And this is, I find it such a beautiful image of what energy flow is about. So if I am in the traffic circle, in the roundabout, and I'm paralyzed because I don't know what to do. Arjuna chapter 1. I don't know, should I take this direction or this exit or that one? And this is what Swami Pepe and Swami Kurunanda told us these stories when they were in France with Guruji driving. What happened in the roundabout, that's what this was. So funny, because Guruji was saying to them, take this exit. They were completely confused. Yeah? And this is exactly that what happens. So let's say if you go into fears and you get paralyzed, let's say, you cannot take decisions. You are not the clear space to take the right decision. then what happens? Then aggressiveness arises. This is why the people behind me, they start honking. This is what aggressiveness is about. But aggressiveness is not something which is negative. Aggressiveness is just a neutral thing. But the problem is that many people associate aggressiveness with something being something negative. And this is why they try to suppress it. So it's like you take a balloon, you know, these air balloons that the children have. You put some air inside and then it goes up. If you put it into water, what happens? It pops up again. You try to with your force to push it down, but it doesn't stay down. It's not supposed to stay there. So poof, it pops up again. Meaning, if you try to suppress this energy, this aggressiveness, what happens? It comes back again. Meaning, if you suppress it, then it will come to you from the outside. This is why in the roundabout, the people beyond you, they horn. You know, the aggressiveness shows itself in this way, from the outside. Or it manifests in form of a disease, a body disease or a mental disease. Whereas if I don't have fears, then I go willingly myself into action, and then there is no aggression coming from outside. This is the difference. So again, if I stay moving, if I keep moving, there is no aggressiveness coming to me. Everything is in a flow, it's a natural flow. And I had recently this realization, and this was so beautiful, that whenever somebody, I'm talking now, let's say, I made this distinction between the spiritual field and the material field. In the spiritual field, whenever somebody comes to me with a proposal, for example, let's do a course, let's practice together, let's do something together in seva, or let's do an extra seva, or let's participate to one course to upskill ourselves, let's sing together, for example, or let's give a tour in the ashram, for example. I've observed over time that these proposals which come to me, they are coming directly from Guruji. Meaning, this is prasad from Guruji. And of course, I should take it. And how many times I didn't take it? How many times I have been suggested, yeah, can you do this? Can you do that? No, I don't do it. And it's like saying to Guruji, no, that prasad, I don't want to take it. It's the same thing, actually. And that's why I said, okay, let's try now to take everything what is put in front of myself. You know? Let's stop saying no and start saying yes to everything. And this shows itself and manifests itself. For example, what I already told you, these outreach activities that we are doing with Sarvaprema Devidasi in the outside. We go to yoga studios, we do events there, and exactly this experience of something which we keep doing, and it keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. This is an experience of expansion. Last week, it was raining, beginning of the week. There was an event planned for Saturday. And so 3 days before the event, there was 0 registrations. So basically, people have to apply, to send an email, and register themselves. So no application, nobody was participating. So we were saying, okay, should we cancel the event or not? But then we said, no, keep doing. So they went to the street on Saturday, two hours before the event, and imagine how many people popped up in the yoga studio. 20 people. 20. From 0 within 3 days to 20 people. Half of these people, like it is usually the case in such events, were new. And this happens all the time. And this is exactly that, the same principle. Keep moving, don't let yourself be discouraged, even if there is no application, no registration. Who cares? We do it anyway. And then, then the rays flow. And then the miracles happen like this. So, yeah, this distinction between material field, where I always say yes, I try to say yes at each proposal, and the opposite one is the material field, where I try to say no, because I don't want bondage to material life. So why should I entangle myself in material life? So this is, on one side, on the spiritual field, I say yes. On the material, I say no. This is the distinction that it's a very nice image. And yes, because he's doing everything for us. Guruji is doing everything for us. He's guiding us. He's creating the situations, and we just have to say yes to these situations. And there is this beautiful exercise that we did one time, and we should do it more times actually. So basically, you have two persons. So one is the person who carries a blindfold, to cover your eyes. And next to this person is a body. So basically, two persons. One is walking in the room, blind, and the other person is guiding. The other person doesn't speak a word. She doesn't interact, but she only protects. She observes, let's say, the blindfold person walking and protecting in case the blindfold person bumps into the wall and and have some injuries. So it's just a protective function. So the body is just protecting, nothing else, but without speaking. And this is a very beautiful exercise of trust, developing trust. So basically, what we can do is, in daily life, is just walking, keeping walking, and Guruji is guiding us, left and right. And so it's about developing this faith, this trust that is guiding us. Yeah, and so basically it's about moving on, following Guruji's instructions, reading the Gita, doing our sadhana, listening to the satsangs daily. And so then everything flows naturally, everything flows effortlessly, and so life is supported. That we feel the support, and everything is guided by His grace. And on the other side, when I don't put my effort into it, when I don't do my sadhana daily and that, then things slowly start to fall apart. Thank you. So then, skip 1 day, I skip 2 days, I skip 1 month, I skip 2 months. So and this is what many times has been reported here, that former residents who have left the ashram, they all had this same pattern or the same cause, let's say, that they stopped doing their sadhana and eventually they left. And so that's why it's, let's say, essential that we keep on, let's say, this continuous flow of sadhana, like the endless sari that Krishna was giving to Draupadi. And so let's keep this flow of life, this flow of sadhana, always alive in our daily life. Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Praladaladaine. Praladaladaine. Hiranyakashipurvasha. Hiranyakashipurvasha. Shivatankanakalaye. Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho. Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho. Yato yato yamitato Narasimho. Yato yato yamitato Narasimho. Bhai Narasimho, Hirdaye Narasimho. Bhai Narasimho, Hirdaye Narasimho. Narasimhadim Sharanam Prapade. Narasimhadim Sharanam Prapade. Tava kara kamalavaren Kamavduta Shringam Talita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadirta Narari Rupa Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare Kara Kamalavare Naka Madhuta Shringa Lalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadirta Narari Rupa Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare. Oh Jayo Narsinga Dev, Narsinga Dev, Narsinga Dev, Jayo Narsinga Dev, Jayo Narsinga Dev, Narsinga Dev, Narsinga Dev, Jayo Narsinga Dev, Jayo Narsinga Dev, Narsinga Dev, Narsinga Dev, Jayo Narsinga Dev, Jayo Narsinga Dev, Narsinga Dev, Narsinga Dev, Jayo Narsinga Dev. Jayo Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Bhakta Swarupa Jayo Prahlad Maharaj,
Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Bhakta Swarupa Jayo Prahlad Maharaj,
Jaya Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Bhakta Swarupa Jayo Prahlad Maharaj,
Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Bhakta Swarupa Jayo Prahlad
Jaya
Maharaj.
Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev,
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Sri Vishwananda Gurudev, 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev,
Sri Vishwananda Gurudev, 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev.
Ramanuja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame, Yatiraja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame,
Ramanuja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame, Yatiraja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame,
Yatindraya Karunakaraya, Mangala Mangalame,
Yatindraya Karunakaraya, Mangala Mangalame,
Prapatidarme Karakaya, Mangala Mangalame,
Prapatidarme Karataya, Mangala Mangalame,
Ramanuja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame, Yatiraja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame,
Ramanuja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame, Yatiraja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame,
Saligrama Pratishtitaya, Mangala Mangalame,
Parigrama Pratishitaya, Mangala Mangalame,
Tridanda Dhanini Godagrajaya, Mangala Mangalame,
Vidandadharine Godagrahaya, Mangala Mangalame,
Ramanuja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame, Yatiraja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame,
Ramanuja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame, Yatiraja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame,
Gangesa Kenkaryarataya, Mangala Mangalame,
Rangesha Kinkaryartaya, Mangala Mangalame,
Mananataya, Ganinadharaya, Mangala Mangalame,
Mananataya, Gariraya, Mangala Mangalame,
O Ramanuja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame, Yatiraja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame, Ramanuja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame, Yatiraja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame, O Ramanuja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame, Yatiraja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame,
Ramanuja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame, Yatiraja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangalame,
Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Swami Jai Jagadish Hare,
Bhakta Jano Ke Sankata, Bhakta Jano Ke Sankata, Saname Dura Kare, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jogya Ve Palapave, Dukha Vina Se Manaka, Swami Dukha Vina Se Manaka, Dukha Sampati Karave, Dukha Sampati Karave, Kachami Te Kanaka, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Mata Pita Tuma Mere, Sharanaga Ume Kisaki, Swami Sharanaga Ume Kisaki, Tuma Bina Ora Naduja, Tuma Bina Ora Naduja, Asta Karume Kisaki, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Tuma Purana Paramatma, Tuma पालन करता, मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी, मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी, कृपा करो वरदा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, तुम हो एक रोदर सबके प्राणपति, स्वामी सबके प्राणपति। किसा विधि मिलो दयामय, किसा विधि मिलो कृपामय, तुमको मैं तुमति। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, दीनबंधु दुःखार्ता, तुम रक्षक मेरे, स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे। करुणा सा बदाओ, करुणा सा बदाओ, शरण पदा तेरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा, स्वामी पाप हरो देवा। सदा भक्ति बदाओ, सदा प्रेम बदाओ, संतन की सेवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, तन मन धन सब है तेरा, स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा, स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा। तेरा तुझको अर्पण, तेरा तुझको अर्पण, क्या लागे मेरा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, ओम जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। सजनों के संकट, सजनों के संकट, कर में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, मन चाकर राखो जी, विधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, विधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, विधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। मन चाकर राखो जी, विधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, विधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, विधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। ओ चाकर राखो, चाकर राखो, चाकर राखो जी, चाकर राखो, चाकर राखो, चाकर राखो जी। माने चाकर राखो जी, विधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। श्याम मने चाकर राखो जी, विधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। गोविंद मने चाकर राखो जी, विधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, गिरिधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, विधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। गोविन्द असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ओम शांति शांति शांति, लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु, लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु, लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु। ओम शांति शांति शांति, श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।
प्रेम से बोलो श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, श्री भूतभृतेश्वरनाथ नरसिंह भगवान की, प्रेम से बोलो श्री राधा कृष्ण के लाल की, श्री माता क्रिय बाबा जी की, श्री रामानुजाचार्य की, प्रेम से बोलो सतगुरुदेव श्री स्वामी विश्वानंद महाप्रभु की।
कृष्णाय गोविंदाय गोपीजन वल्लभाय पराय परम पुरुषाय परकर्म मंत्र यंत्र तंत्र औषधानि शस्त्राणि समराय समराय मृत्युर्मुक्षाय मुक्षाय। ओम नमो भगवते महासुदर्शनाय रीति ज्वाला प्रीताय सर्वदिक शुम्भनुपत परस्मये परब्रह्मणे परमज्योतिषे स्वाहा। Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Sham Venkataramana Govinda, Gopika Jivanam Smaranam Govinda, Bhaktavatsala Govinda, Govinda Govinda Govinda, Pundalika Varadev, Eknath Namdev, Pandarinath Maharaj ki, Samasta Bhakta Mandali ki, Alvarim Perumalar Tiruvani Galaye, Sharan